Hi guys, I'm finally back. Yes, I'm finally back. And my violin's back too, with all 4 strings intact. Finally, we don't have any complications with any broken or frayed up pieces of string. So to start off with me being back, I'm gonna start off with a violin tutorial. And this suggestion was made 5 months ago. I was just going through all the comments of my previous videos and then just making like a waiting list of certain types of songs that I should do a tutorial on. And this one I'm about to do, even though I hate saying the word, I'm going to do the tutorial on swag. And the part of the swag I'm going to be doing is, I really don't know what it's called, but it's like after the second chorus. It's pretty much the verse in between the second and the third chorus. Now this verse before the third chorus is really difficult. This is why I want to cover this section. Also, it's 16 measures long, so this is going to be good for quite a decent violin tutorial on like a 16 measure part. Anyways, if you guys don't know which part I'm talking about, it's the really difficult, almost sounds like impossible one. Yep, that's the part we're going to be learning about. I know it sounds really hard, especially like the really fast crazy notes. Oops. Okay, I know this part sounded like extremely hard, especially with the crazy notes going down. Even though I didn't do that perfectly, but let me tell you, as long as you break down each note, and then you break down the rhythm, starting off very slow so that you can get your intonation correct, I can guarantee you that you guys can play this song like really well. I mean, it doesn't have to be perfect, but at least you're getting towards like really good. Now the first note that you're going to start off with, your first finger is going to be on the low first finger, which makes it an E flat. But you guys are wondering, how come there's an E flat in this when it's actually starting E? Because you get that little nice slide. This song is pretty much more freestyle. This is why I love swag than any of Lindsey's other songs. I mean, it's not my most favorite, but it's unique in its own way because of the different style and rhythm and the complication of notes. And let me tell you, it took me forever to learn this song. Or learn it, or transcribe it. It took me forever to transcribe this song. Like, it was unbelievably hard because of the amount of freestyle there is, like the amount of uniqueness in the song. Therefore, you want to feel more freedom and flowing, so adding a little modification instead of just a plain E. You want to get that little nice slide going from low first finger to the actual first finger. Anyways, the starting notes would be the quarter note E, starting on your low 1. And then up bow is going to be starting at low 1 again. And it's a 8th note E, slurred. Now get this, a triplet 32nd note. Now you guys are wondering, triplet 32nd, isn't that really fast? There's only 3 notes in that little section, and it's just F natural, F natural, which is your second finger on the D string, not F sharp, but F natural, and then E, and then D. So it's those 3 notes. That's the only 3 notes in that triplet 32nd. Just like this. It's like really fast. You wouldn't be able to hear like each single note. But you can tell there's like a short drop, or I should say like the drop of the pitch. And then that next beat is just 4 16th notes. Every 2 is slurred, and it's E, G, E, G on the D string, which is your first, third, first, third. Next beat is down bow, first finger on the A string making a B, open A. And those 2 are 16th notes, by the way, followed by an up bow B 8th note. Just like this. If I were to play the last 2 beats, it would sound like. And and the whole measure would sound like really slow. Yeah, there we go. And then the next measure is starting with an eighth note rest. Okay, and then it's gonna be 2 16 notes going up bow, and it's an E and a D, and then E G, E G, A B, D, which is your third finger on the A string, and then B, and then separate down up bow or 2 eighth notes, D, and then fourth finger E. Now it's really important that you throw down your fourth finger E. I mean, you could play the E string, but the next measure is the reason why you throw down your fourth finger E, because you're gonna shift your fourth finger from the E up to the D, the high D on the E string, like this. Or starting up bow. Like that. You just leave your fourth finger down and just move your arm up. Just like that. So you'd be in third position, which means your first finger is on the A of the E string. Now, that D, that upcoming measure is going to be slightly complicated because it involves, again, 30-second notes. Not triplet 30 seconds, but 30-second notes. Slightly slower, but you still can't tell the difference. When I transcribed it, this is the way I heard it, so I mean, when I play it, it makes a little bit more sense. Anyways, that D is a dotted quarter note tied with that 30-second D. So it's like a quarter note, or a dotted quarter note tied in with like a fraction of a second. So you can pretty much think of your head as just maybe a quarter note D, and then triplet 30 seconds, B, C, and B, which is your second, third, second finger. Just like that. So if I were to play that, just like that. And then that A would be the next beat. A. Still on your first finger, I believe. Actually, they're separate bows. Yeah, they're separate. D. Triplet B, C, B. First finger A, eighth note down bow. Shift back down to first position, G. And then F sharp. And then G. And those are all eighth notes separate. So that measure by itself would sound like. Okay, now the next measure is the crazy fast notes going down. And then I can tell you exactly which notes they are. You're just gonna have to follow along really, really carefully. I'm gonna play this like really slowly. I'm gonna say the notes while I actually no. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm going to say the 4 notes and then play it, and then say the next 4 notes and then play it. Now, to make this bowing a lot more easier, I would slur every 4 notes, and then every 4 30-second notes makes 1 eighth note. Again, every 4 30-second notes makes 1 eighth note. So the bow speed would be like this while your fingers are moving incredibly fast. You just have to time it perfectly. Okay. It's going to be G, A, G, F sharp. F sharp, G, F sharp, E. E, F sharp, E, D. D, E, D, B. B, D, B, A. A, B, A, G. G, A, G, F sharp. And then 2 16 notes, E and D going up bow. So if I were to play through all that slow but consecutive, it would sound like this. If I were to play a little bit faster, it would sound like. faster. A little bit faster. A little bit faster. Keep playing those notes. You're going to be going down, up, 8 times. So it'll be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then you're done. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I guess I could tell you guys the starting note of each of the groups. So if you were to like figure out what the pattern is, it's basically going like starting this note and then up, down, down, this note, up, down, down, this note, up, down, down, and this note, up, down, down. Now there's certain groups that skip a note, like for example, the fourth part, D, E, D, and B. That skipped a C right between the D and the B. So instead of, it's this. It completely skipped the second finger. And then the next group after that, in fact, there's no C's at all. Let's just put it this way. There are no C naturals in that measure at all. So if you guys are just wondering like which groups are going to be skipping notes, just wait until you get towards the area where there's going to be that C on the A string. Oops. And that note is what you're going to skip. So, skip, skip. And then like I said, the starting note for each of the 8 groups will be G, F, E, D, B, A, G, and then E. If I were to accent each of the note, you would hear the first note of each group. And then without the accent, it would sound like. I'm sorry if this is like taking forever just covering through this little measure, and I bet it's not that big of a deal, but I just want to make sure that you guys are you guys have a much better understanding on how that measure is being played out. Like when I first heard it, I was like, whoa, that's just way too fast. That's like way too fast. But then I realized as soon as I break it down note by note, it gets so much easier and your fingers just start flying. I wouldn't say just flying crazily. You want to lift your fingers as little as possible so it gives more time to put your fingers down to the next note. But have a little bit more freedom in this section. It's like that. It doesn't have to sound perfect. It just makes it convincing where, oh, there is trills in between like that little section group and it's going down. The next note E would be on the third next measure, and it would be the 8th note E, 2 16 notes B and A on the G string, and then B, E, 8th notes, and then up bow is 2 16 notes B and A, and then B, G on the D string, and then E. So it sounds like. Oh, and that little space was an 8th note rest, just letting you guys know. Like that. Okay guys, I'm back, and in between that little cut, I was just drawing these notes, and by the way, there's not supposed to be 30-second notes in between these first two. It's supposed to look the same as these ones. I just made a little mistake, so I just filled it in, so just, excuse me, letting you guys know. The next pair of measures is gonna start like with an 8th note, tied in with the first of the 30-second note, and then followed by 3 more 30-second notes. Same thing with the other one, and it's just gonna keep repeating. So it's like dun, 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 dun. So it's like 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 1 2 3 1 1 2 3. And if you guys just want like a better illustration, like I said, this is just the way that the next measure is going to be. Obviously, it's not these notes, and I don't want to show you the sheet music, even though it's my transcription. I could get violated for copyright or something, so I just want to make sure. Instead, I could just draw notes and then just teach music theory. Okay, so the next measure is going to be a E, tied in with this 30-second note E. It's just basically 4 notes for each of the beat. It looks like it's 5 notes, but the first 2 notes of every group is tied, so it pretty much counts as 1 note. So I'm just only going to say 4 notes for each one. It'd be E, D, E, G. Next group is A, G, A, B. And then D, B, D, E. And then F sharp, E, F sharp, G. So that one measure would sound like. If I were to play that measure by itself, it would sound like that. And then obviously the next measure carries out. It's really not that hard as long as you get like that nice little slide. It's what I'm going to talk later. So anyways, that measure. I mean, it might sound like triplets when I play it slowly, but it's just so that you guys can understand better exactly what the notes are. But that's not the rhythm. It's a longer note and then da-da-da. A longer note, da-da-da. And if I were to play normal speed. Like I said, Swag has really cool rhythmic style. I love the way she writes the song because it's just really, really cool. Really, really flowing. Really just that feeling of like freedom. Not freedom. Freestyle, that's what it is. Just having the feeling of doing freestyle. And that's just almost what it sounds like. And then actually the next measure is going to be an A, 8th note, followed by 16 notes, G and F sharp going down bow. And then 4 16 notes up bow, E, F, G, A. And then yes, you do shift from the G to the A, so it's like shift. Shift. And then the crazy slide will be an A to a B. I guess in between each bowing, you go from A, B, A, and then A, B, A, and then B, D, and E, which is the last 3 notes. So it's not like this if I were to play it slowly, because I don't know how to describe this. I would just have to play it to you guys. And then that would be your 4th position, where your B is the first finger on the E string. And then 3rd finger D, and then E. And yes, the B and D are slurred and they're 16 notes followed by the E 8th note. Oops. Just like that pretty much. Okay, I'm not sure if exactly I have enough time to actually start it off slow and then bringing it back down to the normal tempo because I don't want this video to be too long. Let me know if you guys actually want that song starting off slow and then working your way up. I just want to see like if this is much different compared to my other tutorials. I just want to do something a little bit different. So if you guys prefer me playing the song starting off slow and then working my way up to the actual tempo, then please let me know because I just want to do something a little bit different. But if it's actually helping you guys, then definitely let me know so that I can include this throughout the rest of my future tutorials. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for waiting patiently through these few weeks. I was just really pissed off that I just got my E string replaced. I thought I was going to make videos after that, but now my A string, like I said, got frayed. What I did for the A string is I already had a D string that was all frayed up. So I just took off the outer metal coating from the D string, and it's like really skinny metal wire or like filament of some sort. And then took all that off and then made it as skinny as the A string. And yes, this used to be a D string, but now it's an A string. So it works, it recycles things, it saves time from going to a music store, it saves money. If you guys have like any frayed string that's not completely snapped, just like my E string, now that's a different story. Having a snapped string is bad. But if you have just a frayed string, then take your time if you want by getting the outer metal coating so that it'd be more skinnier, so that it could be like the next string up if you're gonna use it for like emergency purposes. But be careful because they're really thin and they're also very strong, so it can cut your fingers, or it can like I don't know, scrape your fingernail or whatever. I wasn't bleeding. It was just like scratched fingernail or something. So it's no big deal. Thank you so much for watching through this tutorial. I hope this really helped, and be prepared for more tutorials. I'm guessing what I'm going to do is after I do my tutorials of a certain song, then I'm going to do a cover of that song. And it'd be like really good. It would bring more people towards this channel so that they can see what I do, and then either they can watch my channel for enjoyment, or they can just watch it for entertainment, or most importantly to receive help and like learn things. Not just any like Lindsey Stirling songs. Maybe I plan on doing like music theory stuff, because I really love the technical aspect of music, the time signatures, the key signatures, the different chords, the rhythms. I could be showing you guys exactly all of that, and let me know if that actually sounds like a good idea, if it's actually going to bring up a lot of people to be interested enough to come to this channel, because it would really help me. It would help all of you guys. All of you guys can talk to one another. It would bring up like a really great community, and I would love that so much. And then as far as like me doing Lindsey Stirling videos, it's eventually going to end, because like there's only a limited amount of her songs, especially her original songs. I don't plan on doing any of her covers, because it seems silly. It's like me doing a cover of a song, which kind of sounds like really weird. I think it's like too much dragged out. I would rather prefer doing her original stuff. Again, thank you guys so much. I'm so glad that I can get back into video making, hopefully, for a while. So once again, guys, thank you so much. And as always, keep playing. Just keep playing. Bye-bye.